What are the 11 things that your soul wants you to know, but you are not listening? Welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Sylvia Salo and I help light workers and starseeds to remember who they are. And this video has been channeled from the consciousness that we call soul. And I asked the soul if you could speak to people and could tell them anything. What are the things that you want everyone to know about how you perceive us in our life? So let's begin. The first thing that the soul wants you to know is that your soul is always guiding you. And I know that it may seem obvious, but listen, your soul is guiding you in every situation in your life, no matter whether you feel stuck, depressed, or whatever you feel, your soul is there as well. But the thing is, when we are tuned into the fear frequency, it blocks out that communication link between us and our soul. And so we keep manifesting the fear, and we keep manifesting from that frequency instead of tapping into soul's frequency, which is always available to us. Like always, I mean it literally, all the time, always, no exceptions. So if you realize that no matter what you are experiencing, you always have access to your soul's guidance, what would it change? Who would you be without the fear? Who would you be without the fear? Keep asking yourself this, and your true self will emerge. The second thing that the soul wants us to know, that everything is about who we are in the situations. The soul only cares about the experience. It doesn't care about what you have. It doesn't care whether you work 16 hours a day. It's just about the experience. And so we reduce this life expression into something that must be achieved. Everything is about productivity. We tie our self-worth to money, achievements, relationships, whatever it is. But the only thing that the soul really cares about is the experience. It just wants to have experiences. And so where are you not living fully? Where do you pretend like you have the experience without actually living? Or, on the other hand, how could you focus more on the experience so you don't necessarily have to change anything in your current life, as long as you have the full experience of it? Meaning, for instance, you don't have to leave your job, just focus on the experience that you have every day. Do you enjoy what you are doing? How could you do it from that soul level of consciousness? How could you have more fun? How could you experience it better? But I want to say one more thing. The soul doesn't really care whether our experiences are positive or negative. But over the course of the soul's journey, of course, it tends to create more positive experiences, because there is no point in experiencing something so-called negative anymore, because the soul has that kind of experience already. And so there is nothing new to learn from it. So if you changed it in your mind and you realize that it's just about the experience, and that would allow you to fully be in every situation, like fully be there, fully present, how would your experience of those situations change? The next thing that the soul wants you to know is that you don't have to learn everything from the scratch. Your soul is like, treasure when it comes to wisdom and experiences. Your soul knows stuff, really. The soul does. And so what it means is that you have to just trust yourself more, because there are many remembrances and memories that come to you in forms of feelings or flashes of some kind of visualization, imagination, or you just know. Maybe you have experienced those moments that you started something new and you became easily very good at it. And it's because maybe you have already done those things in different lifetimes. And so we are not here like just plain and simple, and we have to learn everything from the beginning. No, we already have that wisdom inside of us. We just have to learn how to access that wisdom. And that's what I am teaching in the Lightworker healing. I teach people how to access that wisdom of the soul and how to access experiences from different lifetimes, because it's already there. You don't have to learn things the hard way. And so what would change in the way you experience yourself if you give yourself a little bit more credit and you realize that you have already experienced many, many things? And if you are a light worker and starseeds, which I do suppose since you are on this YouTube channel, you have trained for everything that you are experiencing in this life in different lifetimes. There is a lot more wisdom for you to access than you can imagine. So start tapping into those levels of your consciousness. It's all there. The fourth thing that the soul wants you to know is that it's good to create soul-aligned relationships. We all know if we are, in the resonance with somebody or not. We know if there is that soul level of connection or not. When you create relationships, and I mean friendships as well, or family relationships, truly any form of relationship with soul-aligned people, what's going to happen is that together you are going to create a powerful field of resonance, which will help all of you to ascend, remember, tap into your soul's power, activate your gifts. Things will happen much easier when you are surrounded by people who are also aligned with your soul. This is one of the things that I do on this planet. I bring in my people, and because they are connected to my frequency, it's easier to ascend, it's easier to heal, it's easier to remember. And you do the same with the people in your life. So maybe you may not have so many of those soul connections now, but even if you have just one more person, it's already helping both of you. It's already amplifying that field of resonance which serves both of you. And it will keep attracting more and more people who are aligned with your soul. This is something that really helps us now in those times a lot. We are meant to be connected. Together we create, positively speaking, an entity which has its own consciousness and energy, and it helps everyone to reach further and remember more of who they are. So allow people to come into your life. When you find somebody who is on the same soul frequency, cherish those connections. Then the next thing that the soul wants you to know, you don't have to be punishing yourself. And now you may wonder, what do you mean by punishing myself? I'm not. But if you hold your past against yourself, you are actually punishing yourself. If you are sabotaging yourself, it's a form of punishment as well. If you talk or think ugly things about yourself, you are punishing yourself. So the soul has one simple message. Just drop it. Drop it. Drop all of that punishment, because this is not the path of healing. It just keeps you stuck in some other frequencies where the soul has to do more work and lifting to get you out of there. But there's nothing for you in those lower frequencies. So you can just let it go and be on your side every single time. The next thing that the soul wants you to know is that it's important to feel safe and secure in your body and within yourself. So if you don't feel safe, and I mean like energetically, in your lower chakras, in the physical body, and just generally feeling safe in your life, then focus on that. because the nervous system has to feel like it has the capacity to handle more information and more light. And so to be more connected with your soul, the soul first needs to make sure that you feel safe, that your system isn't cluttered by unnecessary stress or, fears, traumas, and so on. So it has to shake off all that stuff so that you have that capacity or the bandwidth, if you will, to be able to communicate with your soul and change your life. So do you feel safe in your life within your soul? If not, then do some kind of healing. What helps is, of course, the inner child healing. This really does help to calm down the nervous system. Then there are certain foods or types of movements, like the Chinese Qigong, for example, that helps to calm down the nervous system. And then there are some other energetic exercises. There's many stuff, like just look into it. And again, let your soul guide you to the right tool for you to work on feeling safe within yourself. The seventh thing that the soul wants you to know is that the earth is your home now. This may seem obvious, but is it really? Especially if you are a starseed. You are now at this time in this 3D on the earth for a reason. And so your soul asks you to make your 3D life more like 5D or even 6D, 7D. So you don't have to think about, somehow manifesting a light body and leaving into some higher dimension. Those dimensions are within you. So how can you make your life enjoyable? The earth is part of the secret sauce that you need. You are here because of the earth, because of her beautiful, radiant, magnetic frequency. This is something that your soul just loves. Your soul loves that frequency so much that it's difficult to put it into words. So stop fighting against your life on the earth and make it count, make it beautiful, make it interesting for yourself. The eighth thing is that yes, you respect other people, and ideally they respect you as well. But when it comes to your own soul expression, when it comes to following your heart, you don't owe any explanations to other people. You don't have to tell other people, oh, I would love to do this, but is this okay? Does it make sense? Will you give me approval? We don't do this stuff here anymore. It's time for sovereignty. Your soul now in this amazing time in the history wants to really enjoy it. Your soul has been waiting exactly for this time. And so if your heart is guiding you towards doing something, then just listen and do it. You don't have to explain to other people why it matters to you and so on, because then you will pollute it with frequency that maybe doesn't belong there. And so if you want to keep things fresh and excited for yourself and be in that highest soul expression, follow your heart, follow what your soul is telling you. And you can never make mistake, honestly. Of course there will be growth, but you will never regret it. The next thing that the soul wants you to know is that the soul communicates to you all the time, through the dreams, through the random imagination that you have is like not related to anything, through the heart chakra. But when we are listening to the fear, what happens is that we eventually get stuck. And when we get stuck, the ego is trying to control the situation, it's trying to play God. And the ego is, telling us we should do this and this and this, and it looks for different solutions, but we still feel stuck. And the only solution here is to surrender. Because when you surrender, the ego acknowledges that you don't know what's the best way, you don't have the answer, and you don't have to have it, that's the truth. Because the soul will guide you there. when there is no resistance. And so when we go through the dark night of the soul, it's not like the soul wants to punish us or something like that. It's more so that the soul wants to clear out all that noise from our system. And so if you feel stuck, surrender. But don't surrender just with the mind. You have to really mean it. It has to happen with the heart. You have to be fully there. It should not be another way of control. Like, I'm going to surrender, so then some magic will happen. No, it has to come from the heart. It has to be genuine. The next thing the soul wants you to know is that you didn't come to this planet right now to live in a fear that some kind of global thing will deprive you of your soul's experience and your soul's expression. And I'm sure you know what I refer to. There are many things happening. But if you don't go into the fear of it and realize that your soul wouldn't plan this lifetime just to, create some kind of disaster. Your soul is here to create those things that you feel deep in your heart, the things that make you happy and excited. This is your true north. And so if you keep following it, it will happen no matter what's happening globally. Don't become victim in your mind to those external situations. Because yes, they are real, but again, the soul would not plan your lifetime just to really suffer here, because there is no point. We've had those timelines in the past. Now is not a time for them anymore. And the last thing that the soul wants you to know, it's time to embody your soul, and you do it bit by bit. How do you know if you have fully embodied your soul? Is that there is no difference between you and your soul. So you walk as your soul, you speak as your soul, you take action as your soul would. There is no difference. You don't have any secret life where you are spiritual and then the normal 3D life. This is a necessary bridging period, and we all been there. But eventually, as you embody more of your soul's light, there will be no difference. You won't have to be hiding anymore. You will be one with the soul on every level, because the soul needs to be expressed through the 3D, through the physical reality. And so start embodying the soul little by little. What would your soul say? What would your soul do, or think, or act? Take action from that space, and it will help you to embody your soul. So thank you so much. Please like, share and subscribe to my YouTube channel. It helps me to spread those messages to more people. I really appreciate you being here, and see you in the next video.